What's up guys, it's chachipower here to do a, I don't know if I'll call it a review. It's mostly a review because I am reviewing the figure, but it's not a full review since I'm not popping out all those flame effects and stands and little whatnots that come in this box. If you're into that stuff, I'm sure somebody else has a video showing the stands and all the laser beams and all the things he shoots out of every hole in his body. But I'm going to review the figure. And I'm also going to show you the box real quick. The box does not even fit in my display area. You'll see it practically touches the lighting up there. The box is huge. Here's my hand. Let's see what I got over here. Here's a deluxe transformer, so you can see how terribly gigantic this box is. So the front has incredible artwork here. All right, that's actual artwork, or is that from the? I can't even tell. It looks like artwork. It's kind of processed on the computer, so I can't tell if it's the actual. No, it's definitely not the figure, but it looks like it's from the movie. So yeah, so we'll turn it to the side. Now the box has a matte finish, but you'll see, like right here, the actual figure is glossy. All right, this is a picture, I believe, of the actual toy in black and white, but it's glossy. And then the rest of the box is a matte finish. And the Ghidorah here, the King Ghidorah, is sparkly color, which is how I had my red race car. I had a red race car with rainbow sparkles in it, which sounds pretty stupid, but I don't know. Anyway, so the back here shows the pictures of King Ghidorah, and I'm sorry about the lighting. This box is gigantic. So it's got a lot of photography of the figure, and since I'm not showing you guys the effects, here they are. So take that in. All right, this is what I'm not showing you. Basically just this stand with these three prongs here showing the flame effects. That's all I'm not going to show you in this video. Other than that, I will show you the figure. Let's get to that right now. Alright guys, so here's King Ghidorah out of the box. You'll see he's gigantic. I got the camera zoomed out as far as possible without you guys seeing my walls and stuff. So he pretty much takes up my whole display area. And you'll see it's just beautiful. I can't stop looking at this. Like I feel like caressing the little heads here, because it's just an amazing piece. I saw this at Comic-Con. I knew I had to have it. Now, any good reviewer would have other SH Figuarts Godzilla figures on hand to do comparisons with. And of course, I must not be that professional because mine are all stored and packed away. I was not able to get them in time to compare them to this. But I do have other Godzilla figures. In fact, most of my Godzilla figures are here. Alright, so I can sit here all day long and show you all the different Godzilla figures, but I pretty much took 3 of different series. I got the little Tokyo vinyl here. If you guys have that, you'll see how it scales to King Ghidorah. If you have the regular vinyls, this is the Fusion Godzilla vinyl, the little sparkles in it, you'll see how that stacks to that. And if you have those 11, 12-inch Godzillas, that's how it stacks up against that one. Now, for the most part, putting those figures right next to it doesn't really give you the impression of how huge the wingspan is. This thing, it's supposedly 18 inches. I can't even get it in the window screen here, but the wingspan is gigantic. There's really not much that I can really say about this figure aside from the immense amount of articulation. That's not to say I'm not going to, you know, go through the figure, but you know, it's a three-headed monster. It doesn't shoot missiles. It doesn't do anything gimmicky, but it's just impressive. I can't really get over this. I just got this, so I'm kind of speechless. But before we get into the articulation, one of the most impressive things is obviously the sculpt. You'll see the sculpt is just incredible. Whoever sculpted this, I forgot the guy's name, but he did a great job. Like each scale, like it does not, like if this was me, I start with 1 scale, 2 scales, and do them really good, and then eventually I would just get lazy, and then they would all just look like crap going down. But each scale is pretty much just as good as the last. So, you know, this guy's obviously making good money with Bandai sculpting these things. But yeah, great sculptor. And even the wings here give that, you know, cheesy vinyl effect, like they're being. I mean, these are made out of vinyl, but you know what I'm saying. Like in real life, like this would just be like gold vinyl here. It just gives that effect, like it's just a soft flowing vinyl, you know, with the wind hitting it and wrinkling it. Just beautiful. Let's show you the back here. Now, because it's so highly articulated, you obviously are going to get a lot of seam lines, but you can pretty much ignore them. Just knowing how much articulation this has, you can put up with it. it's a great display piece, especially if you have all the other ones. Now the only issue I have with mine is it's got like a bum wing, you know, like this one right here, which is not a big deal. I'm not playing with this or flying it around the room or anything, but it opens up the seam here a lot. So I don't know if that's an issue with all of them. Maybe that's why this guy was selling it so cheap, but if I push it in, it stays in. Well, I guess it doesn't stay in, but if you're just displaying it, I guess it's alright. But yeah, aside from that, great figure. So I'm not going to really knock points off for that because it just might be mine. Now, I did mention the articulation. That's one of the things I keep mentioning, have not showed you yet. So let's start off with the most basic of articulation on this figure, which is the wings. I kind of showed you that. The wings do, they go back pretty far. You gotta admit, they do go back pretty far. Alright, both wings obviously. Alright, they do go up and down a little bit, and then they are slightly articulated from that point in there, but I think that's just the attachment point. Now, what else does it have here? The chest, you'll see that moves. Not a lot of articulation. You don't want to make this guy have too big of a seam there or anywhere, so it's just enough. You know, it's realistic movements. This thing's not going to kneel down on the floor or anything. You got the leg here, you got the knees, all right, and the knees, the kneecap is actually separate from the lower leg and the upper thigh. And you'll also see the calf is separate from the lower part of the leg. I just noticed that. You'll see it's a lot of points of articulation. You'll see right here, this is what I'm talking about. This is separate from the knee, and then this bottom piece is actually separate from that calf piece, which I thought was really nice. And then you got the foot down here, all right? Then we move on to the tail. You'll see the tail has a lot of segments, and each segment is a pivot point. So normally, you can make these figures with a big wire in here, but eventually the wire's going to snap and it's just going to suck. And even if it had a wire, I have a lot of figures that have wire arms, and when you bend it, it just wrinkles at a certain point. It just looks stupid. This doesn't have that. This just has a bunch of segments that give just enough articulation. And I'm talking, it's just beautiful articulation. Check that out. You know, if you can just ignore the seam lines, which aren't that crazy, you know, you can really enjoy the amount of articulation these tails have. And it's got two of them, obviously. All right, so that's just amazing to me. Now, if we move to the heads here, all right, we're going to do the necks. You'll see the necks are pretty much just like the tail, except they're necks, and lots of articulation. I mean, you can do everything the Ghidorah in the movie can, you know. And the heads also separate from the neck. Not a lot of movement there, but you know, if you consider all the other movement in the neck, that is a lot of movement. I mean, he can almost bite his belly there or do something else that we shouldn't talk about. And the heads here, the mouth's open. Okay, and the tongue looks like it's separate, but I don't think the... Oh my god, if the tongue moves separate... Oh yes, it does. The tongue is separate there. That's a really cool feature. It doesn't really go up or down. I think it's just laying there. But the fact that it's separate is really cool instead of just painted there. So the mouth's open. All three of them, to me, looking at them, have the same exact sculpt. Now I'm going to zoom in because I do want you to enjoy how cool this sculpting is. There's the tongue, teeth. There's the evil eyes there. It's just stunning. What do you guys think? So if you guys are fans of Godzilla and SH Monster Arts, most likely you do have it. If you're watching this because you're a subscriber and you like it, look to spend at least $100. I did see these on sale for about 6,800 yen, which equates to about, I don't know, 80, 90 bucks. This morning, I think the yen was 92. So that's actually really good. So you might be able to, if they have these on sale on a Japanese site, you may be able to luck out and get them at a less price. I lucked out because whoever was selling it had no clue what they had and had no clue how to ship stuff. But that's besides the point. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like robots, make sure you check out my Rocket Punch Army channel if you don't already. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.